Hello everyone. Today we are going to read another topic of radiology, that is factor which controlling the X-ray beam. So in this, first is exposure time. Exposure time is denoted by small s. So what is exposure time? In exposure time, if the exposure time is double, then the number of photon produced is also double, but the photon energy is unchanged. So when the exposure time is double, the number of photon generated at all energy in an X-ray emission spectrum is double, but the energy is unchanged. So like in this diagram, I'm following White and Farrow, and from this book only I'm showing you this diagram. Like in this diagram, if we increase the exposure time, see, you can see in first exposure the photon generated is 50. In second exposure the photon generated was 100. So in exposure time, if we increase the exposure, the number of photon is increased, but you can see over here it's 70 only from both the things. So the photon energy is unchanged. So in exposure time will increase the quantity. It will increase the quantity, means it will increase the number of photon, but it will not increase the quality of X-rays. Number of photon will increase, but nothing will happen to quality of X-rays. So this is about the exposure time. Now the second factor is tube current. In tube current, it is denoted by MA. In this, the same thing. The quality of photon is directly proportional to tube current and time. Exposure time means, see, the quantity will increase in tube current also. The quantity will increase, but the quality the quality of X-rays will be the same. So the quality of radiation is constant regardless time and tube current product. Quality will be constant. For example, at 10 MA. At 10 MA means it's a tube current at 10 MA, and this is time at 1 second of exposure time. If you increase the tube current of 20 MA and if you decrease exposure time 0.5 second, the quality will be same. So the quality doesn't depend upon the exposure time and tube current. Now the third thing is tube voltage peak. It is denoted by kVp. So in tube voltage peak, if we increase the kVp, there is increase in difference between cathode and anode, and increase the energy of each electron when it strikes the target. So if you increase the kVp, there will be increase in the energy of photon first. Second, there will be increase in the number of photon. Second, so both the quality and the quantity both are increasing if you increase the kVp. While in other two means in exposure time and in tube current, only one thing is increasing, that is quantity. Number of photon is increasing, but in tube current both the quality and the quantity is increasing. I have tried to draw this diagram graph, and I will show you from the book only. See, you can see over here, you are increasing the kVp. Sorry. Yes, this is the diagram. You are increasing the kVp. Like at 80 kVp, the number of photon was near 50. You increase the kVp, 90 kVp, the number of photon was around 75. You increase the kVp till 100 kVp and number of photon was 100. You can see the photon energy is also increasing, but over here you can see it's constant. Number of photon is increasing, but the energy is constant. So this is about the factors which controls the X-ray beam. These are the factors which control the X-ray beam. Now we'll read about filtration. So what filtration will do? filtration is that it is a there are photons which are of high energy, but there are some photons which are of low energy. So high energy photons are helpful for the diagnostic purpose. And what about the low energy photons? The low energy photons will not produce any diagnosis, will be help for the diagnosis, but it will cause exposure to the patient. It is of no use. So what to do? For that we'll use filtration. What filtration will do? It is a metallic disc. It is a metallic disc and it will restrict this low energy. It will stop this low energy photon. So this is the filtration. The filtration, it will be in the beam path, and it will remove all this low energy, so that high energy photons are able to contribute and make an image. So the filtrations are of two types. First is inert filtrations. Inert filtrations are those which are already added in the X-ray tubes, and the second is added filtration, which we add. So what are inert filtrations? Inert filtrations are enclosed in the X-ray tubes only. These are like glass wall of an X-ray tube, or in insulating oil which surrounds the dental tubes. So they act as a barrier and they will prevent the low energy photon. And the another one are added filtrations. Added filtrations will be like aluminum we add. So these are the added filtrations. So, and the range of this added filtration, we use aluminum, and the ranges is 0.5 to 2 mm. So I have already taught this topic of filtrations. This is inert filtrations, 0.5 to 2 mm of aluminum, and added filtration, aluminum disc is used. So what about total filtration? Total filtration means both combined. Inert filtration and added filtration is, if at 70 kVp it is 1.5 mm, and if you increase at 90 kVp or above 70 kVp, it is 2.5 mm of total filtrations. So this is all about filtrations. Now we'll read about collimations. Right. These are the collimations. So what is collimations? Collimations are the metallic barrier which we use to restrict the size of a beam. So these are round collimations, and this is the rectangle collimations. So they restrict the size of a beam. So they are the metallic barrier, and they reduce the patient exposure. Two type, round and rectangle. Round is most frequently used, and it is dental X-ray beams are usually a collimation use is 2 3/4 inch or 7 centimeter diameter. These values are very important. And rectangular, which it will further reduce the exposure. So we use lead for the collimation. We use lead, and collimation will improve the image quality. Now how it will improve the image quality? It will reduce those scattered photons. Scattered photons it will reduce, which cause patient exposure, but these scattered photons are of no diagnostic use. So they will reduce this scattered photons, and they will reduce the patient exposure. So this is about the collimation. Now we'll read about inverse square law. So inverse square law is the intensity of X-ray depends upon the distance of measuring device and the focal spot. So number of photon depends upon the distance of measuring device and the focal spot. So if we'll increase the distance, or if we'll decrease the distance, if the distance is half, if the distance is reduced by half, the intensity is increased by 4 times. Like at 2 meter we use 1 guy, but if we reduce this value by half, 1 meter, then it will be increased by 4 times. It is represented by the formula I1 by I2 is equals to D2 square by D1 square. This is the inverse square law. You can see in this diagram, the intensity of X-ray is inversely proportional to the square of distance between the source and the point of measure. Now this is the distance from the source to the target, and if it is doubled, the intensity of the beam is decreased. This is the intensity of beam to this target, and if you are increasing this distance, if you increase, the intensity will be decreased. You can see that the rays reaching to this is decreased. So this is about the inverse square law. Now there are some properties of nuclear radiations: alpha rays, beta rays, and gamma rays. Speed, ionizing ability, penetrating power, atmosphere, and range. So alpha rays are of slow speed, betas are fast, and gamma rays are very fast. So gammas are very fast, the penetrating powers is very high. Alphas are very slow, penetrating power is very low, but ionization ability is high. And in beta, ionizing ability is medium, and penetrating power is also medium. And for gamma, ionizing ability is low. What is the range of alpha? Alpha is up to 100 mm, beta up to 1 meters, and gammas are up to 500 meters. So this is all about the alpha, beta, and gamma. Gammas, you can remember, like it is very fast, so the penetrating power is also high. So they can reach to more range is also more, 500 meter. This is all about today's topic. If there is something wrong in teaching, please you can write in the comment section. Thank you.